Guys, how are you?
Good, thanks. How you
Good, how
doing?
are you?
Not bad. So I know you were doing. You said in an interview recently enough that when you saw the final cut of the film, that you were crying. Is that right?
Yes, I think so. I think that what I meant was I was overwhelmed with a lot of emotions and a lot of
Yeah.
thoughts. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's a question for both of you. Is what was the first film that you ever cried at, and can you remember what exactly it was that made you cry? And I see Sam, you kind of made a bit of a face there. Do you not cry at films, no?
Oh yeah, man. I think the first movie I ever saw that I can recall seeing was with my dad. We saw E.T. So of course you
Oh yeah,
cry at
that's a good one.
E.T.'s getting when they're doing the operations on him in those big tunnels, those big plastic tunnels, from what I recall. So I remember crying in that. I
Yeah.
cry all the time. I'm a softie, man. Yeah.
Me too. I think for me it was The Last Unicorn. I think it was a
Oh
really
yeah.
nice movie. And then Lassie Holmstrom's My Life as a Dog.
I thought you were saying Lassie.
No,
Okay.
no, the
Yeah,
director.
yeah,
I remember I saw a movie
yeah.
and it's and this
Movie.
little boy Igmar that just moved me deeply and still is a film that lives up to the conversation that it started about, how children perceive life around them, and I remember just being really little, just like Igmar, and just watching that movie and kind of going, understanding where he was coming from. It was so nice.
Yeah. Did like obviously now that kind of, I suppose, you've done Guardians of the Galaxy and all the rest of it, and technology or whatever has kind of moved on. So I would imagine when you're kind of going back into is it the volume it's called, where you're putting on like the leotards? Yeah. Does it feel less stupid now, or does it feel just the same amount of stupid when you're putting on the leotard and trying to
No,
act it
it
all out?
never, here's the thing, it never felt stupid. I'm
Okay.
telling you, I promise you. It definitely felt awkward because you're
Yeah.
physically, you're adjusting, you're trying to get accustomed to something that is quite, physically sometimes uncomfortable. The helmets, I do remember, it took us a couple of, days to adjust because, you get a headache or you feel a pressure, but it's once you find your level of comfort, nothing was ever going to deter us from transporting ourselves to Pandora.
And with the water, we now have rubber ones.
Yeah,
That
those
helps, yeah.
Silver and
you got to put on this lube,
you're
to
revealing
slide it in.
you're revealing everything in that. So for your vanity, you have to check that at the door.
Completely.
No, because it's just because I know like some people kind of like, I know like Josh Brolin talked about it in Avengers and stuff. He was like, "Oh, it's like black box theater. That's how you kind of
Exactly what
wrap
it
your head
is,
around
man.
it."
And you
Yeah.
you kind of, actors can kind of get past all the gack and all the gear. You can kind of see beyond it at the end of the day. But I'm sure if someone walked in from the outside, what we're doing would look quite perverse and quite insane.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, not being able to kind of, I suppose, translate it to people
Even
outside
with
of it,
the
but who
water
cares?
tank, I know when people will come in the water tank, it's covered with a sheet of tiny balls to stop the reflection of light screwing up the information in the water. So when people would come into the tank to see what we're doing, all they're seeing, all as they look into the pool, is just foam balls. They can't even see what's going on underneath. So you're trying to sell people this is this amazing movie that we're creating using this advanced technology. They can't see it anyway.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Yeah.
we can see it when we're down there. But yeah.
Yeah. Just final question. What was the most surprising thing, I guess, about coming back into it after so many years? What was the most surprising
How
thing
easy it
about
was to slip back into it, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, a lot of us, she's always had an incredible career and has come back just as grounded as she was when we first did the movies. And that's what you want, you want to come back in with the people who are excited to be there, and it isn't a chore. So yeah, it was easy.
It was.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay.
To me, like the most surprising, it's just how special this time around is going to be in its own right, with the level of emotional range and complexity. It does feel like a continuation of the first Avatar, but almost in a way of like an ascension. because Jim raised the stakes for himself, so therefore he raised the stakes for you as an spectator, and that transpired. I was a part of the film, the journey, and even when I saw the movie, I was deeply, deeply moved, and I just can't wait. I can't wait for you all to see it.
Cool. All right. Okay, I'm getting the wrap there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Avatar: The Way of Water.